education, higher education approach across the whole of EMEA. So, I'd like to start with a little disclaimer. I know that many of you are working with very diverse technology ecosystems. You might be using Microsoft Office 365, different learning management systems. So everything that I show you today will absolutely work with whatever you use currently in your universities. It's all possible to set up. We're keen to work with your IT team, so do not think that, look, I'm not a Google University, this is all not relevant. Everything is absolutely relevant and possible to do. And these tools that I'm going to demonstrate to you are meant to work alongside your existing systems and enhance whatever you're already doing. So, my goal today is to inspire you, to show the art of possible, and to demonstrate how Google innovations can support your academic innovations in teaching, learning, and research. This is my first time in Lancaster and at Lancaster University, and of course I've heard about Lancaster University's strong reputation for research. So yesterday on the train I was browsing Lancaster University website, looking at the research fields and the specializations, and I stopped on this web page that talks about the energy research. This is from the chemistry department of the university. So there is one research area that is called electrochemical energy storage. And as you can guess, I am totally not a specialist in this topic, but I would like to demonstrate to you how I can approach learning more about electrochemical energy storage. I even have to look to pronounce it all correctly to make sure I get it right. So, but before you will see the demo that I quickly recorded yesterday for you, let me just explain what I will be showing. So I will go to the Gemini chat. You all can do that now. You can actually follow me along on your laptops, tablets, or phones. If you go gemini.google.com, it is a free Gemini chat available to you right now already, especially if you have your personal Gmail accounts or corporate Google accounts, whatever you use. And the thing that I will be using there is GEMS. So what is GEMS? GEMS is something that you can pre-create and use. Imagine you are using AI chatbot to help you with students' work assessment. So imagine you have created this very long prompt about how you would like to assess student work. You uploaded all the assessment rubrics. You uploaded some past essays as best practices. Maybe you've uploaded an example of how you assess that. So AI can kind of learn based on your best practices and your wishes, how to deliver this assessment report to you. So instead of recreating something like that every week for your assessment time, you can actually save this gem. And so gems is something again like you can create, or you can use the gems that have been created by Google. So I will show you something that is called Learning Coach. Is a gem created by Google within the Gemini AI chat. I know I'm talking a lot, but maybe can you raise your hand if anyone use actually Gemini chat? Great, maybe like 20% of the audience. Learning Coach? No, what? Great. So this will be something new to you. So when you think about Learning Coach, think about this being your tutor 24/7. So here am I, you can see on Gemini chat, and I pick Gem, Learning Coach. And I'm asking Learning Coach to help me understand electromechanical energy storage. So what Learning Coach does, straight away, analyze the topic and offered me a learning plan. I can adjust this learning plan and make it different, simple, more advanced, depending on my knowledge in this field, but for the sake of the demo, I'll say, okay, let's go with this learning plan. I'm happy with that. So Learning Coach starts with explaining the key concept, the basic fundamentals, the theory behind these electrochemical cells. At the end, it gives me some fun facts. It talks really normal, natural language. Also gives the references where the Learning Coach actually took this information from. And finishes off with a question whether I have any questions about the electromechanical cells, or would I like to do an activity. So I go ahead with doing a learning activity. And we start playing a guessing game. I'm not really sure, what they are talking about. I don't know the right answer. So I honestly reply, I'm not sure. Learning coach is really encouraging me. Learning is all about figuring out, it says. So it gives me the hint. It doesn't give me the answer straight away. It still tries to teach me the concept. So this time I do my guess, and I guess it wrong. I say that probably you're talking about water. But it was close, but not quite right, because learning coach was talking about electrolytes. So I still honestly do not understand electrolytes. I read the description, maybe not very attentively, in my personal case, right? So learning coach offered me already also some external resources to go and explore, but I would like learning coach to tell me more about electrolytes. So, as you can imagine, this conversation will continue as long as I want it to go. And it's all very personalized to my personal needs, and I can direct it whatever way I want. It also, as I said, it talks very natural language, but it also gives you fun facts and like some metaphors and practical examples to help you digest the information. So what Learning Coach uses is something that Google has invented, an AI model called LearnLM. So LearnLM is a new type of model that is built specifically for learning and teaching purposes. And what we have done, we worked with pedagogical experts, we worked with some universities there on the screen, and educators to figure out how humans learn the best. And so after this research, we came up with these 5 learning science principles that we now integrate into the educational products from Google, but also like that learning coach, that AI model is built on those principles. First one, inspire active learning. And think back of this example that I've just demonstrated you, how it was encouraging me and providing me different learning activities to explore the topic. The second one, managing cognitive load. Learning Coach, for example, delivered me everything like very digestible bite-sized paragraphs, something that was well structured and clear. The third principle is deepen metacognition, that allows us to reflect on the progress of learning. Metacognition is all about learning how to learn. It's all embedded in there. The next one, stimulate curiosity and adapt for learners. I just want to explain once again that LearnLM is not a Google product. It's an AI model, and it's built in various Google products. It's built in Gemini Chat, the one that I've just demonstrated to you now. It's built in Google Search. You might have noticed that now when you search things on Google Search, it gives you not only search results, but also Gemini AI results. So try to search, for example, for helping to solve your mathematical equation or like physics problem. You will see the learning coach there. It will actually give you the learning path rather than an answer straight away. It's now embedded in YouTube, Cloud and Google Workspace, and Classroom. Classroom is one of the kind of world's most popular school learning management system. And also, there was an independent research at the beginning of last year in December that actually showed that Learning Coach outperforms big time, for example, ChatGPT with regards to those specific learning scenarios. At Google, we are also very passionate about research, and we do a lot of our own research. And I would like to talk to you about something that made headlines last year. Google has this division called Google DeepMind. You might have heard about that. So DeepMind is a part of Google that is focused solely on AI research and building those fantastic AI models. And in 2024, the co-founder of DeepMind, Sir Demis Hassabis, this guy on the slide, and his colleague, Google DeepMind's director, Dr. John Jumper, were co-awarded the 2024 Nobel Prize in the field of chemistry for their work developing AlphaFold. Do you have any chemistry specialists here? Anyone heard of AlphaFold? Yes, I see a few notes. Thank you so much. That's very encouraging. So let me tell you what AlphaFold is. So AlphaFold basically is an AI model that predicts the 3D structure of proteins. Before AlphaFold, predicting 3D structure of proteins was very complex and very time-consuming. But here it is very important. It is important for things like drug discovery, disease understanding, accelerating research in various biological fields like vaccine development or cancer treatment. So now AlphaFold predictions are freely available. They have become a powerful tool for over 2 million scientists across the world in 190 countries. And it's all about like that transformational power of AI and also about democratizing access to powerful tools. So what I'm talking today is actually how we are bringing very similar AI tools to you, to your institutions. And I hope by the end you will see how this can be easily applied today or tomorrow, whenever you'd like to start, to whatever you do in your universities. I would like now to ask you all to imagine that you're stepping in the shoes of a Google DeepMind researcher. You might be a scientist or you might be a Google engineer who is programming on the smart AI models. But basically, your job is also to understand a lot of data, because there are a lot of scientific reports, there are a lot of experimental lab data that you need to analyze, because to develop something like AlphaFold, you actually need to be the knowledge, the field expert. But how can we digest all this huge amount of data? I'm going to show you a tool that maybe some of you have heard or used, something that we can use for our everyday intelligence. It's called a notebook LM. Think of this as your AI research companion. So you give it, you upload all of the data that you want in there. 100 pages, PDFs of research, web links, a video, your slide decks, you name it. And basically you create your own personalized knowledge database. I'll switch quickly to my live demo. So this is what I have created really quickly. On this side panel where it says sources, I've uploaded a few PDFs. This one is taken from the Nobel Prize website that talks about the Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry. What AI does, it quickly analyzes all of the sources. So this PDF is probably 100 pages long. So quickly analyzed what it talks about, what are the key topics. It does it all to all of the sources that I have uploaded. So in my case, I've just uploaded a couple of PDFs and web links, but it can be 100, right? What Notebook LM does, it also created this executive summary. What is this about? And now I can actually chat to this AI chatbot, and will give me the answers based on the data I fed to it. So I will ask something like, what were the challenges in the research? Challenges, let me just spell correctly. So you can see that it will give me an answer quite quickly. If the internet is good, yes. But also, those numbers that you see here are citations. It tells me exactly it took this answer from, so I can go back and either like investigate, read by myself, which document they used to, give me this answer, which page, etc. So it's really handy. So that's kind of our classic, I think, chatbot experience. But let's look at Notebook LM Studio here on this side. It gives me a few new options. One that we have launched last week is called, let me go back here. It's called a mind map. So it took all this data and created this mind map of different concepts, explored Sorry, I'm finding this challenging to navigate. 1 second. Mind map. Please bear with me, please bear with me. I'm trying my best. No, it's not that notebook. So, let me quickly go back. Oh, yes. My Nobel Prize. Let's try again. Okay. Yes, okay, mind map. Sorry for that. But you remember that learning science principle of metacognition? This is just like one of the examples about like thinking how we learn and how visually we can learn thanks to the things like mind map. It also gave me the study guide on the side. So the study guide shows me like the key concept used in those papers, the key concept in chemistry and physics, but also provides me an opportunity to play a quiz and gives me answer keys for the quiz. Again, not like one-word answers, but quite deep ones for me to understand better the concepts. Let me go back to the study and show you what else it can do. For example, it also provided me a ready timeline, all the key dates for like research and how this field was developing and how this research was developing started from 1943. So that might be useful. But the thing that I'd like to show you now is this one.
So we hear about scientific discoveries all the time, right? But the 2024 Nobel Prizes, those in physics and chemistry especially, they felt different. Like, whoa, this is big. AI, protein design, protein structure, it's like the future is arriving, you know?
Yeah.
So what it did, it created me nearly instantly a podcast about all these papers that I have uploaded. So you can sit on the train, whether you're a professor or a student, and in a very accessible way digest all of this information, especially if audio is the way you prefer for learning. I'd like to test one other feature, and I really hope the internet works because it really relies on the internet.
Okay, so we hear about scientific discoveries all the time, right? But oh hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Hey, can you tell me a little bit more about the challenges of protein mapping?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, when we talk about protein mapping, we're really talking about understanding the three-dimensional structure of these incredibly complex molecules.
Right, and it sounds easier than it is.
So I hope you get the point, right? You can really interact with these two people who are now best friends of mine. So this is already available to you now. Most of the features are free. There are more advanced features that are at cost, or like how many docs you can upload, like how deep it can go, but it's there for you now. Okay, I'd like to show you another really cool tool that is also something that we launched for free 2 weeks ago. It's called Deep Research. So I'll go back into my recorded demo. So here's me again in Gemini Chat, and this time I choose Deep Research model. And I ask it to run a deep research analysis to identify and detail major challenges in achieving protein mapping. So what Deep Research AI does quickly, like it analyzes very quickly what I'm asking, and now suggests me the outline of research. What could it be? I can also again interact and change it, but then it starts running the research. It also, at the moment, shows me all of the thinking. You will see it kind of thinking now and dropping different pieces. Deep research is not your quick AI. 2 minutes, you have 2 seconds, you have an answer. Deep research can take 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. It's very AI heavy, productivity heavy model, but it goes really, really deep. I'm showing here how AI is thinking about that, But I switch quickly on the next video frame to the final result that it generated in approximately 10 minutes in my case. And it's a multi-page research, again with all the reference, here it is, that I can now look, interact, visualize, change, but I can also simply export it into Google Docs, which I will do in a second on this video, and share it with my colleagues, collaborate, leave comments, action points, edit, etc. So that's a great tool as well, available for you to try. So now all this deep research is in this Google Doc that I can, of course, do whatever I would like to. The Google owns, I want to emphasize this, I think it's very important to understand that Google owns the entire AI stack. So we have our own cloud infrastructure, our own devices that offer AI capabilities. The models that we developed are developed in-house by Google. And then we have the software, the interface that you see, Deep Research, Gemini, Notebook Lab, Google Workspace. It's all part of Google structure. It's slightly different to what some alternative tools are offering that rely on some kind of quite fundamental areas on third-party tools. Why this is important? Because when you're in control, when Google's in control of the entire infrastructure, entire stack, that means we can control what's happening with your data. And by the way, all these tools that I've showed you, I just want to say that if you are using it, not with your Gmail account, but with your university account, it's recognized education institutions, it's not, your data is not training our AI models, your data is not viewed by humans, you are not profiled, you are not reviewed, your data stayed really securely with you. And I think that especially with regards to some scientific, sensitive research, it's very important to understand that. And of course, when we talk about the academic innovation, it's not only about AI. It's also about collaboration, communication, productivity. So this slide is just here to show you that there is just so much more for you to explore if you're interested in Google. And we can talk about a variety of different tools that drive data insights, that help you collaborate, that help you approve scientific documents within your team, etc. So I would like to close off by encouraging you to come and speak to myself and my colleagues Simon and Jason here at the networking area. So we will be there all day. Happy to talk to you, happy to talk to your IT teams and continue the conversation. And also we would like to invite you to visit Google HQ in London on the 6th of June, because we are running Google Higher Education Discovery Day. So this is a full day, 10 to 4. We will go deep into those tools and much more, and in a very interactive way discuss specific scenarios specific to your university together with other universities and your colleagues. So with this, I would like to thank you so much, and I really hope we can continue the conversation in the networking part. Thank you.